Hello, my lovelies. Here are the Oracle messages for the sign of Libra for the month of May 2019. So you guys have come up first in the videos because you are my highest viewers for the month of April. So thank you. That's very encouraging for me to have you guys watching my videos and hopefully gleaning some comfort and upliftment from them. So I've just sat quietly and tuned into your energies, and a song came to me. So bear with me. We'll try and get through this one. And I've forgotten who it. Well, hang on. It was Andy Williams. Andy Williams sang it, and I think it's very significant for what you're moving into in the month of May. So anyway, here we go. The harbour lights were shining. The moon was in its high. The captain said, "Thank God we're home, we've drunk the barrels dry." The mizzenmast was shaking, and the lanterns all turned low. I never thought we'd make it, 'cause we've 20 leagues to go. God bless ye southern trades, you've brought us safely home this time. I'm never ever gonna leave this lovely home of mine. And it goes on. And I feel that the message in this song, not too brilliantly sung, is that you're coming home from a quest or a voyage or a deep, significant journey where you never thought you were coming home, and the southern trade winds have blown you back to the harbour. So the harbour is home. It's our hearts. It's our feeling of coming back to that place that we know so well. But you are changed. So yes, you are returning. You are very much changed from this journey. And I feel that as you move through the end of April and all the way through May, we still have Jupiter retrograde. So Jupiter is about travel. It's about adventure. It's about philosophy, meeting your soul. So as Jupiter is retrograde, it's really going back into that deep, sometimes dark place within us, or that place we haven't investigated yet that is beckoning. Say, come on, come and have a look. It isn't as scary as you think it is. There are other travellers on the same journey as you. You might all have different clothing or outfits on. You might have sturdy sea legs. You might, from time to time, get a little bit mal de mer, seasick, or feel a little unsteady in this journey. But it is well worth it because you are coming home again. The harbour lights are shining. The moon is in its high. So we've just had a full moon in your sign on the 19th of April at the 29th degree. So that's the very last degree, and it is called a critical degree. Not critical in the negative way, but it's critical to your unfolding, new beginnings, adventure. And when we add 29 together, it comes to 11. And if you looked at my other video where we were in the Bluebell Woods, the 11 is the portal. So it's walking through that portal, and your higher self, universe, is inviting you through to have this adventure. And 11 is a master number too. So 11 is the visionary, the prophet, the intuitive, the psychic. So the adventure you're being called towards is to open up to that visionary part of you, that part that wants to explore, that wants to find out, that wants to investigate and research and delve deeply into who you truly are, because that's the journey that all of us are taking in the collective at the moment. And my sense of things is there's more than one collective. There's one collective that buys into all the media fear and the chaos and tragedy and negative way of looking at things. and then the other collective energies of embracing these awakenings, this ascension, this sense of on a deep level knowing that there is something glorious calling us. There is something fantastical, magical, and it's not fairy tale. It's more recognizing and acknowledging that when we came into this physical body, we actually brought a lot of tools with us. But it isn't until we grow, yes, physically, from a baby to a child to a teenager to a adult, that these tools show up. And I feel that for an awful lot of you, it's it's like this great big toolbox has suddenly sprung open, and all these tools are lying around you. And you think, well, what's that one for? Well, it's a bit odd, isn't it? I don't see one like that. I wonder what that's for. And so it's figuring out what all of these weird and wonderful tools are that you brought in with you because you needed them. And when you came from the non-physical into this physical life, you had a backpack with all the things that you needed. And they show up at exactly the right time. So these tools can be books, they can be videos, they can be people, they can be situations, some of which can on the surface look very, very challenging, and a part of you might think, oh, I don't want to go there, that's that looks too uncomfortable, it looks too dangerous, it looks too unfamiliar. But the harbour lights are shining, the moon is in its high, and so, as I said before, when the moon is in its high and it's full, it's a spotlight, so it's shining directly onto you, so you can see where you're headed, you can see what's shining, you can see what's actually calling you, you can see the dangers, you can see if you're sailing over the or through the waters of life, the oceans of life, you can see what's ahead. So if there is an iceberg, if there is an obstacle in your way, you'll be able to move around it rather than crashing into it. You've done that before. You've crashed into stuff before. You haven't avoided the iceberg. So, but you've learned from that. So that's strengthened you. That's brought you to this place of feeling I'm ready. I'm ready for a new adventure. The timing is right. We're now in the 5th month. May is the 5th month. So 5 is adventure. It's getting out there and knowing that you have everything that you need to explore, to go into the jungles of your deep inner recesses of your being. I had an adventure some years ago. I was invited for a week's holiday to stay in a little Greek island, free board in a little hotel. So off I went with just one little suitcase, and I ended up staying 4 months. And the universe supplied everything that I needed. I was offered accommodation for free, and I was looking after somebody's animals and house sitting while they went away. And then I bought a little tub of hand cream, and I bought a piece of card from the newsagent, and I drew around my hand on the card, and in English and in Greek I put hand massage, and went down onto the beach, and I stuck this little poster on a tree, and then people were flocking to me as I did hand and foot massage for them, and that paid for my 4 months on this Greek island. So I had an apartment, I had a meal out every night. I had clients coming to me every single day. I didn't have a phone. I didn't have a diary. I just used to walk down into the village every day and sit and have a cup of coffee. And it was mostly the locals would come up to me and say, "Oh, Amanda, when I come see you, when I come see you, oh, my shoulder, she hurt, or my hand, she hurt." And so I'd just say, "Right, tomorrow, 2 o'clock, coming up." And that's how it works. So it was word of mouth. All of these really hardworking people working through the season on this little Greek island. I happened to be in the right place at the right time to offer a service to people, and I got paid for it. So that's the sort of adventure that's calling you. I'm not saying you're all going to go off to a Greek island for 4 months, but it's trusting that whatever is calling you is some form of adventure. And for you to be able to say, "Yes, I'm ready. Yes, I'm going to do this." You might have others around you who say, "What on earth do you want to go and do that for? There's no security in that. What are you giving up all this for? You'll have nothing to come back to," but you will, because the harbour lights are shining and the moon is in its high. So if something is knocking at your door, if you get itchy feet, if you've got wanderlust and you feel, "I've got to get the hell out of here. I cannot stand this anymore. I've got to do something with my life. I can't see myself stuck in this job, stuck in this relationship, stuck in this situation, stuck in this country for the rest of my life. Something is calling me and I have to answer it. I have to respond to it. I have to be where this energy is coming from. I have to meet it." And yes, it does take courage and bravery and but also that knowingness, that sense of, I will be completely supported, I will be completely looked after, I have all the tools I need within me, so whatever is calling me needs me in some shape or form to serve, and I will get paid in return. So it's not necessary that all of you are going to up sticks and, as I say, go off travelling around the world. For an awful lot of people who are in working environment, in a career, in an office, etc., etc., it's that knowing that, and this isn't from the ego, it's, I'm better than this. I know there's something within me that is better than this situation that I'm in. I can do this job standing on my head. I'm bored. It doesn't satisfy me. It's it can be heartbreaking doing something that you don't want to do, that doesn't bring you joy, that is not satisfying or fulfilling. So whatever you feel is actually calling you would give you more of a sense of adventure, of satisfaction, of fulfillment. Allow it to show up in your life. And if you're thinking, "Well, how on earth do I do that?" Ask. Ask your higher self. Ask your angels. Ask your guides. Say, "Please show me what would be for my highest good." And one of the best ways to also see what it is to ask open-ended questions. If I left this situation now, this job, this relationship, this house, what would be the next best path for me? So leaving it open-ended, the universe can then bring you maybe quite a few options, not just necessarily one. Because our human minds can restrict us and say, "Oh, well, if I leave here, I can only go and do that." No. If I leave here, I can do anything that I want to. So your little angel card for May is understanding. I've always found this a weird word. Understanding. Standing under. What are we standing under? So really, if we're standing under something, we need to look up. And when we look up, oh, there's the answer. Comprehension, gleaning, that aha moment. So here we have an angel lying on her tummy, reading a book, getting some divine guidance, divine information. So she's lying right across the word of understanding. So when you stand under divine guidance, angelic helpers, and you look up, yes, you can physically look up, but it's looking up through the third eye. Now, one of the ways that information can come to us very quickly without our ego getting in the way or our human mind getting in the way is when we go into the brain wave known as theta. And it's when we're dreaming, and you get that rapid eye movement, REM. So you don't need to go to sleep to go into theta. You can do it in your waking state. So one of the easiest ways to do it is you close your eyes and you focus right here on the third eye. So it's like you're rolling your eyeballs upwards and your brain automatically goes into theta, which is very, very slow brainwave. Very, very slow. So if you do this when you have no distractions, there's no switch off the phone, anything electrical, so switch it all off, or you're outside in nature and there's no people around. When you go into that theta mode, pose a question beforehand, open-ended. 10-15 minutes is all you need, and you will come out of it with an answer. And one of the answers will be healing. So this is one of your self-mastery cards. Healing energies. And that's what I feel you've been working on for some time now, but it's suddenly speeding up. There's an acceleration of energies. There's an urgency. There's a sense of drive and even ambition to heal certain things in your life. So yes, they can be physical things that need healing, but for an awful lot of us it's emotional, it's mental, it's stuff we've carried through this lifetime and possibly others. And I feel that for a lot of you lovely Librans, you are light workers. You are healers anyway. You are celestial beings in a body of light, and you've come here for a purpose. And as an empath, you've taken on an awful lot of other people's crap, excuse my French, and you've been carrying it. And as healers and light workers, we need to know how to transmute that, get rid of it. Don't carry it around with you. It's not yours. Yes, we are collective, and yes, we are all one. But there are aspects of us, which are the people who are our clients, who we deal with, who reflect back to us things that we need to heal within ourselves. So once the healing has occurred, you've got this big garbage bag, bin bag, full of other people's stuff, issues. And that needs to be binned. It needs to be collected by the refuse collectors and disposed of, transmuted. So the healing card says, gradually my old self falls away, my sorrow is lost, and my anxiety fades. Isn't that lovely? As a master, I experience irreversible, positive change. I become whole. My old self falls away. My sorrow is lost and my anxiety fades. So within that healing, you don't want to go and look for your old self, your old sorrows, or your old anxieties. They're in that bin bag. They've been removed. They've gone. And as I say, they can belong to lots of other people as well. So you're doing a stalwart job, wonderful, helping other people, but cleanse it, let it go, cleanse it. Call in Archangel Michael and another Ascended Master, he's called El Mariah, and ask them to cleanse and shield your energies every day, every single day. Please cleanse and shield my energies, because we can take on other people's stuff without being aware of it. So you know when you're in, here's a very good example. I popped into the library the other day to get some books about goddesses. So I'm putting together a workshop about awakening the goddess within. And there's a whole row of computers which we can use. So I sat at one and started working on it. And in the same room was a large table with some people sitting around it. And there was an elderly gentleman, he must have been in his 80s. And the whole time I was there, I suppose about 20 minutes, all he did was complain and moan. And it was a miserable git. It was so miserable. And I thought, I couldn't help but hear him, because he was speaking quite loudly and with other elderly people there. And I tried to tune out and found it very difficult to do so. And then I had trouble with trying to get to the computer, and he shouted right across the room, "Oh, madam, is your computer not working?" And I thought, oh, golly. And I ignored him. I thought, no, I'm not going to answer you, because I don't want to tap into your misery, because you would just make it a miserable situation. So I did what I needed to do. I didn't finish what I needed to do, because I thought I cannot bear to be in this negative energy. It's and it flagged up for me, because everybody is a mirror. How often do you complain, Amanda? How often do you moan and groan about things? How often do you tell your story to others to glean sympathy? Ooh, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Yes. So these things show up for us to heal, to have a look at, and then let go of. Past, gone, bye. You have the most beautiful animal card for May. Hummingbird. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. With his lovely long little beak going into the nectar in the flower. This is fabulous energy. He's 44. Master number 44. Master healing. 4 and 4 adds up to 8. So 8 is material satisfaction. So yes, it is to do with money, but it's having enough of everything so that you can share it with others. So there's no sense of lack here with hummingbird energy. And this is also a lovely indication of you taking flight. So this is your adventure. Hummingbird is the only creature that can fly backwards, forwards, up and down, and just hover. So this is saying you have this ability to move in any direction. And the only sound you'll make is a hum. Hum, 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 hum. And that humming is a vibration, a very high vibration, a sense of lightness, lifting you to a higher aspect of where you haven't visited before, maybe. Perhaps when in your dreams with the theta energy. But this is saying, well, now you can blend your self, your physical self, with your higher self much more easily because you've done the work. And also the hummingbird's feathers are iridescent. So this is indicative of rainbow energy and the rainbow bridge. So between the physical world and the non-physical world. And you may start to see out of the corner of your eye iridescent sparkles. Sadly, we don't have hummingbirds in the UK, but I've come across them in the USA. And they're tiny, tiny little creatures, and they're just so exquisite. So again, something is beckoning to you to have this adventure, which, yes, might say you get in a plane or you get in a boat or you go off somewhere, but this is an inner journey as well. This is you discovering you, Jupiter retrograde. And so with a little mini hummingbird, it says, embrace what makes you happy. Be joyful. Count your blessings. Open yourself to pleasure. So what makes you happy? It's not anybody else's job to make you happy. Happiness is within all of us. All we need to do is unlock it, embrace it, and let it out. Be joyful. Sometimes you don't need a reason to be joyful. I'm hearing Reasons to be Joyful by oh poo, what's his name? Or is it Reasons to be Cheerful? And you don't need to search for them or seek them. Just be joyful, and open yourself to pleasure. So pleasure is seeing the moonrise and the sunset. Something made me really giggle this morning. I'm looking after a lovely dog, a lurcher, for the weekend, and it's Sunday today, and the church bell started to peal, and this dog went outside and started to howl at the bells, and it was so funny. I've videoed it, so I will upload it, and you'll get to see it. But it was so delightful. She hadn't made a sound since Thursday, since I had her. I hadn't heard her bark or make any noise at all, and she just goes out there and throws her head back and starts howling. So that made me joyful, this feeling of this dog is connected with something. She didn't seem to be distressed. She was just tuning into those notes, that octave, and she just communed with the bells, because bells are always a wake-up call. Again, my video about the in the bluebell wood for the full moon, the bells are ringing for us. Waking up, come on, wake up, come on. And then I've chosen a card from Wisdom of Avalon. And this is lovely. You've got another bird. The raven. Look at that. Oh, wow. So there's a lot of air energy. Libra are an air sign. You're an air sign. So when you get the bird energy in, it's air signs rule our intellect, how we think about things, how we communicate with each other and ourselves. But these two birds, this one is number 10, these are of a higher vibration. And they're saying that the time is right for you to tap into a higher communication, divine intelligence, infinite mind, letting the information, the wisdom be awakened within you. Okay, because that will help you on your pathway to where it is you are headed. And Raven is magic, that magic energy, coincidence, synchronistic events. So as you listen to this understanding, this hummingbird energies, it is of a higher mind, a higher vibration, a higher aspect, and it can be very subtle. It can come through in a song or some music, or like we had at the beginning there, there's a message somewhere there for you. If you Google the rest of that song, the rest of it, the words in it might make more sense to you. The lyrics in it, there might be a deeper meaning there for some of you out there. And so we shall conclude with a card from what's his name? Gordon Brown. No, not Gordon Brown. Oh, sorry. Gordon Smith's 5 Keys to Happiness. And it's for the water family, and it says fresh water. So again, that's coming from salty water, the sea, the ocean, through the harbour where the lights are on and the moon is shining down on you. And so moving up the channel to where the river meets the sea, you come through the harbour into fresh water. And there's a little embryo, well, a little baby in a bubble of water, and it is about to be born. Lots of other bubbles around it. So this is an inner aspect of yourself that is about to be born. It's coming to the surface. So the words associated with this card: you have the potential to develop insight into the flow of emotions and the irritations that may anger you as they come to the surface of your mind. So again, this healing energy, letting things go. Bubbles rise through the currents of water to the surface. One of the bubbles shows a baby ready to be born from the depths of the ocean to the light of a new day. I love it how these cards just all meld together. This shows that you have a new understanding of the deep-seated unconscious patterns that have affected your daily life. With this understanding comes the ability to go with the flow of life without the turmoil of negative reactions. You are beginning to realize your potential in dealing with your emotions. So you've come a very, very, very long way, my darlings. Aren't you doing well? Give yourself a big pat on the back. Standing ovations all round. I forgot to say, this is another one of my paintings. It's the Golden Buddha. And painted on it, or around it, is the word Shring, S-H-R-I-N-G. And this is a word, a Sanskrit word, and it's associated with abundance and prosperity. And you know, in some religions there are beads like a rosary. Well, in the Sanskrit tradition, there are I think it's 120 beads. Correct me if I'm wrong. And as you count the beads, you say the word shring 120 times. And as you say it, you are activating the energy of abundance. And you don't need to have some beads or a rosary. You can just shring, say the word. And it's also very good when you're just about to go to bed and you can't settle. Shring, 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 shring. So the energy of this painting is coming through for you. The energy of a golden Buddha, which is peace and harmony and prosperity. And the word shring. So I'm going to leave that with you. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate your lovely, lovely comments. Thank you so much. It's very encouraging and makes me feel I'm on the right path, doing the right thing, having the right adventure. So please share, please subscribe. That would be wonderful. And until next time, I love you, love you, love you. Bye for now.